So, what's up, everyone? Sunday evening, Manchester City absolutely destroyed Newcastle. We thought it was coming. It came. Now we're here to try and make ourselves and you all feel a little bit better. Is that right, Paddy? Have I nailed it there? Is that where we're at right now?
I don't know how the fuck you're going to make me feel better, but listen, best of luck. Yeah. Hello. Good evening. Well, no, it's not a good evening. Bad evening.
Yes, it's not a good evening at all, Paddy, is it? My fucking camera's doing my head in today, lads. I swear to God. It's just not sitting back in the... One sec. It's just...
here we are.
I know I'm doing this on purpose. One sec. Hi, everybody. Oh, here, lads. Come on, the fuck. Right. Hopefully that works. There we go.
Beautiful.
Good.
There we
It
are.
just keeps leaning forward like it wants to jump out of the holder. Right, sorry, folks. We are there. No
I wanna
sponsors
jump out as well.
tonight, anyway. Right, lads. Look, we see Manchester City absolutely destroy Newcastle. And the worst part about all that for me was I was expecting the result. No arguments there, but the goal difference, lads. The goal difference. Oh, it hurts. Chris, make it better, mate. Make it all better. Come on. I'm relying on you here now. Make it all better.
I'll try my best, mate, but I don't think I can. If we don't laugh, we'll cry. Like, this Man City team's a juggernaut, isn't it? Unfortunately, but in terms of when the biggest moments come in the Premier League, they've done it yet again today. Look, there's still three tough games to go for them, but to be honest, I'm going to be I can't be a sense of positivity in the fact that I don't think they'll drop points, which also means that like yesterday's result is irrelevant anyway for us. So I suppose that's the only positive.
Look, we need perspective on this, gents, I suppose. If I said to yourself, Paddy, and yourself, Chris, in the chat back in August that come May time, we'd be one trophy up, two more finals to play. Look, maybe I'm turning into a bit of Chris here from yesterday, but I'm not all doom and gloom. I'm not. Maybe it's because I made a conscious decision this season that I'm going to take it game by game. I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves. And I really didn't think that City were going to stumble across the line, if I'm being honest with you, particularly after them going out in the Champions League. I thought we'd get a reaction from them. And we did get a reaction from them, but I also don't understand the energy, Paddy, coming from a lot of other fans. Like, it's like they've taken more joy with us drawing to Spurs than we have taken sadness from it. It's weird, man. It's a weird state of affairs at the minute.
Yeah, there's something I just want to make clear for rival fans and to clarify from a Liverpool fan point of view. The sadness we feel now is because we're not going to win the Premier League, because we wanted to win that Premier League so badly, because the one we did win, the last one, wasn't proper. It's not the fact that we're not going to win the quad. The quad was only ever a little bit of a joke and then the game momentum. And I was the CEO of the quad propaganda train. No qualms about it. But it's the fact that we're not going to win the Premier League that we're upset and we're sad. That's what we're sad about. We wanted to get the 20th one. We wanted to, because this team deserves to have more than one Premier League. And that's why I'm down. The quad would have just been a funny little bragging rights thing. It's about the trophies. I wanted to win the Premier League more than then. I'd swap the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup for the Prem, not even in a heartbeat. I think it does not even a question. Yeah, but it's just it's over. It's completely over. It was over last night, but it's completely over now because the goal difference is now fucked. We had it last night. We were still one loss of City away. Now it's two games of drop points. It is finished. Time to just forget about it. Play the kids in the league. I know we won't, but just play Carroll, play everyone. Let Div get a few games in. It's finished. It's over. But we gave it a good L crack.
I mean, it's not finished. It's not over. But I do get where you're coming from. I can't argue against it. Like, in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, the same as you guys. But you know what makes a huge difference? I was sitting there before we went live. I was watching the Atleti Real game, the first half of it. No Benzema, no Vinicius Jr., no Thibaut Courtois. Just all rested, all feet up, getting ready for the Champions League final. And I'm wondering what way Klopp's gonna go about the next few weeks, Chris, because midweek game, difficult game away against Aston Villa. But then again, City have a difficult game away against Wolves. And then we've got, of course, the FA Cup final next weekend. So, the manager won't give up, but nothing's really changed for me, mate, in the sense that it's one game at a time, 90 minutes at a time, and let's see where we end up at the end.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I mean, look, that draw against Spurs is a dent, but I think we have to maintain the confidence, take it a game at a time. I think the difference with Real Madrid is they've already won their league. They're not really embroiled in a fight whatsoever, so they could literally play their under-18s, and it wouldn't matter whatsoever for their league position. With us, we're still embroiled in this. So even though it may seem like we're not, we're still mathematically capable easily of winning the league. Not that I think we will. So. Yeah, I think he will rotate a bit on Tuesday. I think it'd be silly not to, especially I think we looked a little bit burned out yesterday, if I'm being honest. So I think it would make sense.
Understandable. It's totally understandable.
I mean, we played what? I think out of the five players to play the most minutes this season in all competitions across the top 6-7 leagues in Europe, Salah, Mane, Diaz are in the top 5, which is madness. They're people who are absolutely knackered, lots of games. So look, I think he'll rotate, and I think we'll rest up for the FA Cup final, because that is still an absolutely massive competition to win.
Now, we did perhaps get a little bit of a boost, if there is to be a boost today, Paddy, with the likelihood that City are going to be missing a lot of defenders between now and the end of the season. It looks like Diaz could be out, Walker out. And look, they've got strength and depth, they've got good players, but the goal difference swing could also change very quickly, Paddy. So that's kind of what I meant by it's not over, but I totally get where you're coming from. Like, so what is it now? 4 in City's favour in the goal difference. So let's say they lost the game by a goal. That's 2-goal swing immediately, and then we won a game by a couple of goals. The goal difference can be sorted out quickly. But I get where you're coming from. Nobody's going to go out there and slaughter City. Nobody's going to go out there and beat them 4-0 or 4-1. So. But ultimately, we can only take care of what we can take care of, and nothing has really changed for our lads, because it's still not in our hands. It was never in our hands, and we always needed City to trip up a little bit. But what I want to say, I suppose, Paddy, and everybody else in the chat is, okay, we might not win the Premier League this season, but write Liverpool and write this group off at your peril. That's what I'll say, because next season, I've no doubt they'll be refocused and ready to go.
Yeah, well, on the first thing you mentioned about the City defensive people missing, Jeff Shreve said it to Pep, and Pep was like, "Oh, I'm not worried. Chris is gone.
Am I?
Anyway, so yeah, I think Pep was like, "Oh, if I have to play Phil Foden at centre back, I will." And Jester was like, really? He's like, no, but honestly, he could. I think the goal difference it was going to be irrelevant anyway, because they're not losing the game. They're not drawing a game. They're not dropping a point. People were like, oh, the Real Madrid might actually... No, if anything, the Real Madrid mishap is going to galvanize them. And they're on for their 4th Premier League in 5 years. They know how to do this dance. While we know how to work Europe, they know how to work. They're just a very good league team. They're the best league format team in the history of the game, I would say. They're just ruthless. It is what it is. It's Champions League. If you don't win the Champions League, I'm done. I'm gonna go and just garden or something.
There's a comment here that I've never talked about before, but I want to bring it up because I've seen more and more of this being spoken about. So this comment here from Mr. Weirdo O'Neill said, Craig, what are your thoughts about people saying Liverpool players are on juice? I think it's rubbish. So what I'm seeing on some platforms and comment section is some talk of asthma medication, which I believe, being an asthmatic myself, I believe would probably be a steroid-based inhaler or maybe something like that. But mate, these players are tested rigorously. And if opposition fans or people who don't want to give Liverpool credit for their fitness and for their ability to run like we do, don't see the work the lads do in pre-season, I can't. What's the story with this scenario? I'm supposed to believe that what is being covered up for what? I just don't get it. Liverpool players work their asses off in pre-season for exactly these type of situations, Chris. And until these. If there's ever a case of any of this being proven, people just need to give it a rest. It's just pathetic yet again.
Yeah, it's conspiracy theories, isn't it? Everyone's going to come up with conspiracy theories. It goes, in every hand of success. I mean, it's pretty clear to see that if Manchester City had certain things, there's conspiracy theories there that aren't true. Conspiracy theories about of every government and whatever, every theory going. So yeah, it doesn't bother me, to be honest.
Philip, I thought I told you guys to stop looking at the chat. Philip.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was you. It was the facial expressions you were making there. That's what I was laughing at.
Yeah, it was.
People winning a second Champions League in 3 years is so impressive. With the FA Cup, then you'll complete the set. There's a chance for a great season. Absolutely. It's just a fantastic season ahead. Absolutely fantastic season. Audio's a bit off. People are saying
you're all right now, mate. It was in the last little bit, but then you're all right now. So
let me just double check something.
Technical issues going on everywhere tonight. It's usually just me.
It's
usually just me.
I wanted to come on tonight because I didn't want this to turn into is it okay now, by the way, the audio lads coming through all right?
Yeah, you sound absolutely fine, mate.
I just didn't want this to become a negative cesspit of people's opinions. We have a lot to play for this season, a lot to play for, and we could be 2 trophies up next weekend. And look, let's be frank about this. Chelsea are awful at the minute, so we should be looking to do a job on Chelsea, I think, Paddy.
Yeah, surely, but I it may be selfish of me, maybe spoiled of me, but FA Cup really doesn't do anything for me again unless it's the part of the Champions League treble.
Come on, you'd be celebrating next Saturday, mate.
I think what Paddy said yesterday made a lot of sense to me. That the fact it falls before the Champions League final is quite helpful. In that, if you get it, brilliant. But I still stand over what was said yesterday. I'm definitely in the camp of it's not a great season without the Champions League. I understand where you came from yesterday, totally, Chris. But I think context has to be important in a season.
Yeah.
And before the season, would we have taken a domestic cup double? Perhaps. Yeah, they certainly would have stuck our noses up at it.
No, definitely not.
Come on, man.
No way. No way.
So you'd rather a repeat of last season where we ended up with nothing?
No, before the season, there's no way you'd take a domestic cup double. You don't
absolutely
just say
shook your hand firmly, man.
I would have bitten your hand off for it. Yeah. 100%. After what? Last season, the fact we barely got into the Champions League.
Yeah, but I knew that I knew that was a blip. Like, that was just injury based. No way Liverpool Football Club going into a season you turn down the Champions League and Premier League. No way. I genuinely wouldn't have, and I never will. I never will take them.
I don't know whether I've always one of my first memories of football was the FA Cup final in 2006, and since then I've been absolutely in love with the competition. And it's crazy that the fact that we haven't won it since. I just absolutely love to win it. I'd firmly shake anyone's hand who's given us a cup double at the start of the season, purely because of the days out the fans would have had. It'd been amazing.
And the box ticking of every trophy.
Yeah, every trophy. Jurgen Klopp has lifted every trophy bar that. Jordan Henderson, the same. I don't know about you, but trophies are trophies at the end of the day. I understand the Premier League and the Champions League are absolutely astronomically bigger, but still wouldn't turn my nose up at 2 trophies a season, whatever.
Just on this one, well done today, Stephen, mate. Fair play. Credit where it's due. And if you guys go on to lift the title, I'll be the first one on here to congratulate you on it. Despite my views about the way the club is run, I have a lot of time for the fans and the staff and stuff. So fair play, Stephen. Good win for you lads today. So Wickham as well. Congratulations, they've made it through to the playoffs. By the way, playoff final, 1-0 loss away at MK Dons. So I know Jack, one of our subscribers, was at that game. He's also goes to all the Wickham games, so I hope Jack enjoyed his trip. Midweek, lads, what way are you expecting us to respond against Villa, and what type of a lineup are you expecting? Are we expecting Klopp to dare to rest some players ahead of the weekend? Because I could understand that if he did, although I'm sure some will disagree. For me, I think you go on the realms of probability right now. He'll always pick a team that he believes will get the job done and get the 3 points. But ultimately, 2 big finals to come. And I would like to see him make some changes. I don't know about you, Chris.
100%. Especially after, as you said, they looked a little bit burnt out, understandably. Massive game at the weekend. I know it'll be a really tough game against Villa, and to be honest, that's why I'm not expecting a result going into it. I'm not expecting us to win the game. I think we'll make changes, and it'll be a tough one. It'll be really, really, really tough. Really great ground. Not got a good record there. So, but to be honest, I'm happy with that. As long as we go into the Chelsea game full strength, everyone fit, I'm fine with it. To be honest, it's going to be a real tough one.
For yourself, Paddy, Tuesday, what type of a lineup are you expecting? And Rabadan said, "Stop sounding like a '90s United fan."
What am I listening to from Chris there? You don't expect us to get a result against Aston Villa?
Not to be I want us to, obviously, but it's going to be a real difficult game.
No, you're off your head.
I think we're going to be rotating, man. We're going to be rotating.
Right, let's have a bash at this then. Let's have a bash at this together. He's got to play Ali. He's not going to go that week and change the keeper around. I genuinely, regardless of the situation, would like to see Costas play because I think Robbo might need a little tap on the shoulder, a little reminder that he's not infallible ahead of the final. So I'd like to see Robbo rested and Canada get a start. Do you know what? Would I go as far as to put Joe Gomez at right back? Well, what are you saying, lads? Is there a conversation to be had there? Because Trent was awful, but was he awful because we were awful? Was he tired? Again, I'd love to have some more information on how the lads are feeling physically.
I would encourage Sheen Gomez. I think Gomez has been really good at right back when he's played. He's a better defender than Trent. That's a fact. And he's kind of done a good Trent impersonation going forward. So give Trent a rest and get Joe in. Yeah, absolutely.
So then centre backs again. The big man hasn't had much of a rest, to be fair, this season, Verge. So is there a shout there for going Canada Matip?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so personally. I think Virgil isn't, as much as I love him, I don't think he physically exudes himself because he doesn't need to. He's that good. Like, he doesn't need to make sprints and make desperate tackles because he's always in the right position. So I think that's the reason why he plays so often. And I don't think he would leave him out of a game like this. I think we do need to rotate, but definitely not him.
I can appreciate where you're coming from, certainly. But I suppose we are going to rotate. You know, who do we rotate? You know, we look into the forward line here. Bobby's back. So, you know, there's a very good argument to play him against us, regardless one way or the other, like, because Bobby is a great player. So Bobby centre, Jota left, Salah right. I'm not saying that's the best team, but I'm saying I want to keep some players fit and fresh for Saturday. Actually, do you know what? Fuck it, I play Origi.
I'm not. People are going to give out to me here. I would genuinely rather play Origi than Jota. Tell me why not, Chris.
Look at the amount of goals they've scored this season next to each other.
Jota has been absolutely woeful the last while.
He has. He's been poor in the last few weeks, but I don't think that warrants that. Personally, I love Divock.
It's much of a muchness. I don't think Jota deserves it massively ahead of him, and I would rather give Origi the swan song. To be honest with you,
I wouldn't be against it, mind. Definitely wouldn't be against it, but I'd rather see Origi than Jota, to be honest.
Well, let me throw a team out there, and we can pick it apart.
Maybe both.
Alisson, Gomez, Costas, Van Dijk, Matip, Milner.
Oh, Klopp's not going to completely give up. Like, the league is, Klopp's going to take the. Here, I don't know what's going on.
Milner.
It's so.
Milner started against Newcastle, played well.
Yeah, played very well.
Fuck Newcastle.
I'm not playing Milner and Henderson, but there's a reason that we have a squad, and I think Milner should come in and start this game, and Thiago shouldn't be anywhere near the pitch. He should be getting rested up for Chelsea. So I go Milner in midfield with Keita, and Jones. Yeah, I'd like to see some changes. So Milner, Keita, Jones, then up top. That's where I'm struggling, lads. I won't lie. I am struggling up top because I'd like Salah not to play, if I'm being honest with you, for a couple of reasons.
Chamberlain right wing, boys. Remontada.
I know right now there's debates and there's silly time, Chris.
Nah. Mo Bobby Mane. Run it back. Run it back, boys.
Can we just like fuck Man City? Why can't we just drop a point in peace? Fucking hell, we drop points for the first time in months, and the league's fucking over. I'm fucking so sick of this shit, man. What the fuck?
It is mental. You're right. It's mental.
Like the world is over after one fucking draw against a decent Spurs side. What is this absolute bullshit? Oh my god, I hate it. This team has. I don't know how we're only going to have one Prem. Oh, it's unreal. It's actually unreal. My brain can't fathom.
It is mad.
That.
No, I get you. It's nuts. It is nuts. We're playing in some parallel. Like, I'm sick of fucking looking around Europe at leagues and seeing PSG winning it with like a really low points tally, or AC Milan, Inter Milan going head to head. And, every week someone's dropping points. And, as Paddy said, yeah, we've drawn to Manchester City and we've drawn to Spurs and won every other game since the 2nd of January. And this is where we are. He's right. I can get it. I do get it. It's
true.
madness.
And I suppose that's where it comes as to people thinking potentially fans are ungrateful, because this is what Manchester City drive people to. Like, just absolute pure and utter frustration. Because
what I don't get,
win.
I don't get the City love it. I don't get the Arsenal, the Spurs, the United fans all getting. I've said this before and I will say it again. If you want this City team to win stuff, then you are basically sticking two fingers up to any club that tried to run themselves properly. Never will I understand. Like, is the hatred of us so much that they'd rather the entire fucking sport be done with? Like, that's more there's no rules and there's no right or wrong way of doing things. It's just countries come in and just bang, 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 spend money, win leagues.
I think it's as simple as there's more Liverpool fans than City fans, and that's not a dig. That's just from the rival fans' point of view, they have less bullshit to deal with if Man City do well, because they've less conflict, they've less debates. The Liverpool are just an historic team, and if Liverpool do well, their mates are going to be on their back. It just impacts them more if it's Liverpool, and that's why I think that people don't really look into the negatives of City. It's more just the lesser of two evils, to be honest, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, can I imagine a world where I'm sitting here cheering on Everton?
If it was against... see, I'm thinking back to 2012, right? I'm thinking back to that Aguero moment. I was buzzing. Man City beat Man United. I was supporting Manchester City then, because it's against Manchester United and they were the bastion of the game at that point. I think I would, even now. If it was Man City against Man United in a title race, I'd support Man City.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I think it's a...
Oh, 100%, yeah.
It's not a similar debate, but... Would you not?
Craig, you would.
Craig, you would, mate.
No, I wouldn't. I've got morals, lads.
You'd rather Man United win the league over City? No.
Yes.
No, bullshit. No, it's all well and good saying it, but I live in it. And there's no way. Think of the Man United fans.
That's how many times do I have to come on any show and say the same thing about how that club is run and how PSG is run and how my morals of life and my morals of right and wrong trump all of this shit. All of this. I keep banging on about the big picture. I keep banging on about it with referees and people mocking us for a decision, but it'll go their way next week.
Give me a sec. I'm going to change my camera because
I would. Yeah, no, I would. And I don't want United to win that. Of course, I don't. But you asked me a genuine question and giving you an honest answer. Yes.
Fair. I wouldn't be mean out, not at all, but fair play.
Well, then, let's just put it this way. So if it's not you or anyone else in the chat, then we're admitting that we've no issues with the way City's being run. Because we can't be two-faced about it. We can't 1 minute be annoyed by the perceived sports washing and then in the next breath say, but that's okay if they stop United. To me, this is just my view on it. It's a black and white issue for me, and I don't like the way that football's going like that. I don't like the way the genuine sporting merit can be bought out, and that's why I have so long and will for so long always hope that PSG and Real, or then PSG and Man City will never lift the European Cup.
Yeah.
I suppose it's fair enough. But again, I've grown up with Man United ruined my childhood, so I
So
genuinely
have
hope they lose.
I mean, I've had it worse than you had it, mate. Trust me. I was 30
suppose.
years waiting for a league title, going on minibuses to games with United supporting fans week in and week out, getting absolute dogs abuse from them. But I've always said I hate them, I despise them, but I've got respect for them. I do. I've got
yeah.
respect for them. I have no respect for the way Manchester City or PSG are run. None.
Fair enough.
Thank you for the super chat, Jason. I had to go through 30 away Premier League. If we don't win this year, I still believe that's exactly where I am, man. I believe that this group will answer next season. And I don't want to say we'll absolutely focus on a Premier League because I don't think you can do that to the detriment of everything else. I don't think it's possible to switch on and off. But honestly, that's how I feel about the situation that the sport is in right now. The corruption, look, I'm someone that we're all working class people here, apart from Chris. We're all working class people, I'm only joking. We're all working class people here. I'm fucking sick of seeing money buy out everything. I'm sick of seeing money buy the law. I'm sick of seeing money, basically Man City got away with stuff because they have better lawyers than UEFA. That's not right to me. It's not that it's a matter of right and wrong. Like, it's a matter of we have more fucking money. That's pathetic. I don't want to be in this world. I don't want sport to be this way. That's genuinely how I feel. I'm very idealistic about sport. And I also will be the first one to sit here and go, all right, look, we're totally talking from a throne here. We're talking from Premier League, Liverpool, top tier. I get it. I get that. But still go on about the way that the club is being funded and run. And I still stand true to those morals. Whether I get mocked for it or not, that's genuinely how I feel about it.
It's fair enough, mate. I admire it. I admire it. I really, really do. And I wish the world and the sport was that way, but it's not, sadly.
Yeah, it's stomach churning. Yeah, it is. I feel Paddy's right. We've drawn. It's like a funeral. Let's be honest. We've been great, complete money bags. We go again. Yes, 100%. Our lads have been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. There was no title race, nor would there have been a title race between anybody else in City. But Jurgen Klopp and those boys from the turn of the year just put in an unbelievable run. And I think we should feel nothing but pride right now as fans. Obviously deflated. Of course we are. It's not natural if you don't feel a little bit saddened by once again coming so close. But we can still finish this season on a very, very, very positive front.
And let's not forget, Jurgen Klopp's just signed a 4-year contract.
Damn
boys.
right, Chris. Damn right.
4 years. 4 more years, boys, of at least battling with these lot, at least putting up a fight, because no one else will. No one else has. So at least we're there.
Can we have an open conversation about Mohamed Salah for a minute? And with
I don't want to get cancelled.
Who's going to cancel you?
Well, I suppose, yeah. Well, whatever. Go on, let's go.
Let's
It ain't going to be pretty. Let me tell you that.
Where he's, I thought, mate, it's the difference between me and you and this. I don't give a fuck. I have my opinions, and people can like them or lump them. It is what it is, and I speak from the heart, and I know you do as well. And if people don't like that about us, they're in the wrong place, I'm afraid. He's not good enough at the minute. That's basically what I'm putting forward. He's not good enough at the minute, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's... I love to have the time to look through a statistical analysis of the final quarter of his time at Liverpool, the final quarter of a season, because I have a theory that he does drop away at end of seasons, but there's dropping away, and there's... Is it one goal, and it was a penalty in the last... God knows.
He scored 2 against United, didn't he?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Chris. Correct. Spot on about that. My apologies.
Apart from that, I think the key words that you're using there are "at the minute." All right, and I
100%.
think
It's all temporary, definitely.
We'll try and twist those. People will try and twist those words into you thinking that is, permanent. It's not. Like these lads. This lad's been incredible for the last 4 or 5 years.
Good man, Sam.
Like he's clearly world class, but people should be allowed to express frustration. No one's free from criticism, despite the book that he's had. Like, clearly you're not saying, or anyone's not saying that he should be sold or that he's not good enough for Liverpool overall. But I think you can still have the open conversation that he's not having a great time of it at the moment. And I think that's fair.
But it's an important moment because it's a moment where the club are about to potentially commit a very large sum of money to him or to Mane, but at least I could feel like Mane stepped it up when it comes time to call contracts. I feel like this could be a mistake from Salah's perspective, not capitalizing when he had the momentum. Because this has been a distraction this season, whether we like to admit it or not. There's been times where we've been on Mo's side. There's been times we've been maybe on the club side. There's been times we've been in the middle. But as of right now, it looks like it's a distraction. And distractions are things that at this point of a season, we really shouldn't have. I think that's the fairest way I can explain how I feel about it right now. It's an unnecessary headache.
Yeah. Listen, the conversation with Salah, I'm just going to say, first of all, regardless of external things, tiredness, blah, 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 just judging the man purely off his performances, he has been bad.
Now,
his decision making at times.
Are we saying bad? In what context are we saying bad?
Just not even to do with his level. He's just been bad lately.
Has he been greedy, do we think?
Yes, his decision making has been absolutely awful. Absolutely awful.
I would agree with the greedy thing. I would err to that side.
People are going to hang their hat on the greedy thing and be like, oh, they're going to pull up clips. No, because he does get assists, but at times his decision making I'm perplexed at some of the things. Like, last night, he was trying his hardest to do remember his first season, he had that many curlers with his left foot into the top left corner. He tried to fashion one of them last night and he had Diaz a simple pass away. And it's just sometimes like that. I was like, Mo, man, like there's only so long your historic performances can carry you, right? And he's still fine, no problem. But he is not undroppable, and he shouldn't be undroppable. Nobody in Liverpool should be undroppable. If you put up stinker after stinker, you should be dropped.
Now, I don't know if I'd say he's put up stinker after stinker, but
but I'm just saying, like, people act as if he is undroppable. I'm not saying he necessarily have had a stinker after stinker, but people act like he's undroppable because of his historic performance, and he's not.
What I'd say is, and I'd be interested to hear your opinion on this, Chris, as well. So I think it would be fair of us to say that there has been a couple of seasons where he's been chasing the golden boot, where when it comes down to the crunch part of the season, there's been times where he should have passed balls. There is. But I guess the big question here is, does Klopp see this, Chris? And should he have, or does he perhaps pull him up on it behind the scenes?
I don't know whether it's sort of a culture thing in the last sort of few years, but it used to be like used as a positive thing that a striker was greedy and that they were desperate to score goals. Now, I've never seen it used in a positive connotation for Mo Salah. I think he's so hungry, and I understand the frustration that sometimes he needs to pass. Sometimes he makes the wrong decision. I think, but is it because we hold him to such high standards that we don't point out when Sadio Mane makes a mistake, or Bobby Firmino makes the wrong decision, or Luis Diaz makes the wrong decision? I think it's because he's had so many great moments in a Liverpool shirt, scored countless goals, that people still he is nitpicked, and that this contract situation is being put out to the world. I understand where it comes from, and I think there is mistakes there, and I think he hasn't been at his peak. But I think you can't really look at that without looking at everyone, if that makes sense.
Okay, we'll move on from this in a sec, or we'll carry on with this. Sorry, thank you, Austin. Said, my problem is we don't have anyone challenging him. No attacker on their side can come in and take that spot the way Diaz and Mane are set up. There is a fair point, to the right side, outside of maybe Elliott, there isn't somebody, well, Mane was a right-sided player, but there's this fascination now with introverted wingers, isn't there? So, we don't really have anyone to cut in from the left. So here's where I look at time, Paddy. So what Chris has spoke about there is him wanting to take the mantle on, wanting to be responsible, wanting to get over the line. Usually they're the type of traits, though, that you would see in a player when they're surrounded by inferior footballers. And I remember a time when it used to be give it to Phil Coutinho, hope he can put in a cross or a moment of magic. I don't think that would be fair to the rest of the lads around if that's the perception we're working off, because they're all capable of moments of brilliance. So I don't feel like that's the reason for me, that he just thinks he's not surrounded by enough good players.
No, nothing to do with that. Listen. Do you know what? Also, all Liverpool fans are sick and tired of talking about the external stuff around Salah. I don't give a shit what's going on with his contract, what's going on with him. Just perform. You know what I mean? Like he just hasn't been performing to the level required.
Alfie, fuck off. Just fuck off. Every comment you've put in so far, and I've been watching, has been just Salah's a god, Salah's amazing. Don't talk bad about Salah. He's a player that we're allowed to critique, as we will critique other players, mate. Nobody is infallible. And if you're one of those Salah fanboys that thinks he can do no wrong, then best stop watching.
Kenny Dalglish had bad games on the Liverpool shirt. Steven Gerrard had bad games.
Everybody will have bad games, and everybody is open to critiquing. But we are talking about a man here who is probably going to be the highest paid player that this storied football club will ever have. And we're still fucking banging on about this contract all these months later. I don't know what.
I tell you.
We know, apparently. We know what he wants. Us fans. We know. I even got a Scooby-Doo what he wants. I don't have an actual clue anymore what he wants. Because if it's not about money, it can't be the manager situation. That's resolved. It can't be recruitment, because that's resolved and our recruitment has been top-notch and we've brought Diaz in and we'll have money available in the summer. It can't be that he wants his professional career to be challenged, that he wants to be challenging for trophies, because, again, we're doing it. So if it's not money, then what is it? It has to be money. It has to be. At this point, it has to be money.
I tell you, you know what it is now? It's at risk. He's at risk of jeopardizing the whole thing, because I promise you, the powers that be will not be ignoring these performances. And as much as that sounds crazy, I'm not saying that's my opinion, but I promise you, they're not going to be ignoring these performances. They're not going to magically just put their look past that. So whatever the hold up is, he's losing some bargaining power. That's for sure.
But genuinely, honestly, I'm not trying to be a dick here. Chat, Chris, Paddy, what is it? Because if we're supposed to know, I consider myself a Liverpool fan, a Salah fan. I don't know. And I like to think I'm fairly clued in on what's happening around the football club. So if it isn't money, and it's not the manager, and it's not challenging for trophies, what could it be? Genuinely, I'm baffled. Unless there's somebody in there he really doesn't like, and I doubt that's it, because he doesn't seem like that type of guy. What is it?
The length of it, I think.
But it's
so
worst
case scenario, if it's the length of it, we're talking about 1 year. He wants 5, we're offering 4, something like that. So even at that, for it to drag on 6, 7, 8 months,
there could be a compromise made there in 10 minutes. Let alone 7 months.
Look how quickly Kloppo's contract was done.
I think
there's
the way
there.
that FSG handle contracts, though, the way that FSG do contracts is a lot stat based, and I think Mo Salah's shot himself in the foot here, because even by Mo Salah's standards, the way he was playing at the start of the season was astronomically better than we've probably ever seen. He was just unbelievable. And surely he would have thought, actually, yeah, we'll push hard for this now. But I think he's played the waiting game, and FSG have played a blinder there, to be honest, because you can't look at him in the last 2 or 3 months and say that he's worth to be the highest paid player in the Premier League. No way.
So then we move on to this comment from Herman. and thank you, Herman, said, would it be better for the club to sell Salah? So your initial instinct is to say no. I get you, and my initial instinct as well. But I like to challenge my own perceptions. This can't go past the end of the season, because let me tell you why. In my humble opinion, how many times do we see players and their agents get a little bit more brave when they're not in and out Melwood or Kirby every day? That they're away on their holidays and a little bit of distance, a little bit of separation. I think if this doesn't get sorted out by the end of the season, we start seeing some destabilizing tactics, and the likelihood of it not being resolved comes along a little bit. That's genuinely how I feel about it. Same, I always worry when the AFCON is on, or when the World Cup is on, or when players have to go away in international duty. The picture always becomes a little bit more clouded in those scenarios, because it's easier if you're not, you don't have to go back to your manager tomorrow and train, and to have said, well, maybe it's time, maybe, but you get where I'm coming from. It has to be resolved, because we can't go, they're not going to let him go into a new season running down his contract. They aren't going to do that.
It will be settled. It will be done. I'm pretty sure it will be done. But, I've said it a couple of months ago when we were discussing that extensively. Liverpool will survive. And unfortunately, as the weeks go on, Liverpool's surviving is more and more obvious. So if he doesn't want to sign, if they can't agree a deal, it'll be tough. It'll be hard to take, because he's a legend of the club and he's been fantastic. But Liverpool will always survive. Nobody's bigger than Liverpool, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not. Listen, and it's sad to say, I'm a lot less staunch on Salah must get a new deal than I was 6 months ago, and that's just the fickle nature of a football fan, I'm afraid. But it's just being honest.
And I think it's understandable as well, because I know Craig earlier said about he's not playing with mediocre players, but at the start of this season, Mo Salah was levels above every single player, and that's not to say that they were mediocre. That's just to say that he was unbelievable, and he was the talisman, the undroppable player. He was the best in the world for the first 4 or 5 months of the season before AFCON, and it's understandable why people.
Was it Spurs and City? Was it Spurs and City scored those two amazing, very almost identical goals?
Watford and
Watford
and Spurs, yeah, and City. Sorry, he was running past players. He couldn't lose the ball, and it's understandable why people were saying, "Oh, if Salah doesn't sign a contract, FSG will be hounded out." But that's not the way football is. That players don't hold that level unless you're Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo over a sustained period. And especially over a 4 or 5 year period, probably ever. He was at such a level, wasn't he?
And I don't think it will have helped that there was that natural rivalry, between Senegal and obviously Egypt with the AFCON and the World Cup qualifiers. As professional as Sadio and Mo are, they're also athletes, they're also sportsmen, so that competitive edge would have been there. Has anybody got a cutoff date that they think they think this needs to be resolved by? And we have to look at, by the way, Sadio as well in this scenario, and Bobby, similar situations. And a lot of the focus has been, of course, on Mohamed Salah's contract renewal. But, the vibes coming out of Sadio's side, Paddy, are, oh yeah, no, we'll sign this in the summer. We'll get that 250, 300 grand a week, and it'll be signed in the summer. There seems to be a lot more positivity around that situation being resolved, with a lot less fanfare and a lot less hassle and stress.
Yeah, well, I think with the Sadio stuff, we've seen someone come back from the brink, almost. Been kind of very out of favour, very out of form on the left, to rejuvenated and reborn through the middle. Probably played his way to a new deal, a new and improved deal, and hopefully that'll get done now. I think that's very important. Yeah, I think we've seen the shit with Salah's agent. There's clearly a bit of discontent with him. He's trying to do his best Mino Raiola impression. Being very demanding. Obviously, rest in peace to Raiola. But he was a very shrewd agent who got his clients the best possible deal. But yeah, there's just a lot of discontent with the Salah stuff right now in the contract. But I'm really just sick of it. All I care about is Liverpool and Liverpool winning football matches. And I just think the contract stuff has hindered Salah. But I also think it's been AFCON as well, and not just AFCON, the two battles with Senegal. I think we've seen the good of that with Sadio, and the knock-on effect of the negativity of it towards Salah. So it's just unfortunate our two lads had to go. I wish they could have both got through, but yeah, I'm just sick of it. Just sign the thing or fuck off. And it's as harsh as that. Sign it or fuck off. Liverpool are bigger than everyone. Liverpool will be here forever and always. No one's bigger than Liverpool. If you don't want to sign a deal and your agent's acting the bollocks, move on then. You're not going to be held to ransom.
That's a very Irish way of wording it. And I totally understand what you mean when you say it, because we're a reactive kind of race of people. But I think when it boils down to it, we might like the wording of what Paddy said, but ultimately...
I'm being clipped, haven't I? Fuck's sake.
Ultimately, that's kind of the energy I'm feeling as well at this moment in time. Sign it or shut up.
It is sort of like that, isn't it?
It's a bit of a sticky one stone.
It's the nature of modern football, isn't it?
The only reason we're not being on, let's be frank, what's holding all of us back here is not our opinion. It's the reaction to our opinion. We all know deep down that we feel this way. We all know deep down we've had enough of this situation. Everybody watching this show knows they've had enough of this fucking situation banging on all season. We want it resolved. Now, we want it resolved in a positive manner, ideally. But ultimately, what Paddy said is right. We just want the fucking thing resolved.
Absolutely right. I agree. I think it's just a tiresome...
Don't get a hold of that statement.
It's a tiresome opinion. It's a tiresome subject to discuss. Because we've been doing it, how long have me and Paddy been on this since, October? And we've probably discussed it every week since. It's long.
The more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm on Team Paddy on this, because I'm definitely not somebody who likes this new I support the player bollocks that's creeping into football. It's annoyed me for a while. Messi fanboys and Neymar fanboys and now Salah fanboys. We're Liverpool fans. The Liverbird is what we care about. The club's history, the club's future, the security of the club. We've seen players come and go. And ultimately, I think it's time for the media games to stop. If you keep saying it's about respect and blah, 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 it's about feeling wanted, it's not about money, then what the fuck is it about? You either put up or shut up. Sign the contract, don't sign the contract. But it needs to be resolved because there's other people waiting. Sadio's waiting. Bobby's waiting. Keita's waiting. Chamberlain's waiting. All players whose contract... No, I'm not saying they're getting new deals, but they need to know their futures. The club need to work on their futures. And the potential loss of Mohamed Salah, as much as we don't want it to happen, is a seismic thing that the club need time to plan for if they need to replace him. Now, we all hope we don't need to replace Mo. We want him to stay. But ultimately... it's got to get resolved.
Look at this.
And also, it's been a distraction. It's been a huge distraction.
That's a damning comment. I think he mightn't be wrong. Oof.
I
hope you're wrong.
Whether it's right or wrong, I don't see what the benefit of it is. Because, okay, let's look at it this way. This is going on. It's fair to say 6 months more. We'll pull 6 months as an example. So this is going on 6 months. If he signed the new deal, he would have been earning 6 months worth of whatever the differential price is in his contract between then and now. So by holding off, the club have saved money. He's probably not put more money in his own pocket. The part that's annoying me the most about this is I don't know what he wants. That's really the part that's winding me up about it. It's not the man.
The part that's annoying me the most is that we're still fucking talking about it. Like, fuck off, not you. Just like, it's so annoying. Like, I've spent more of my life talking about the Mohamed Salah contract than I have. Jesus, that could have went very far. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Just the point is, the real point is, right now, I don't care about it. I don't care about it at all. I really don't care. I care about Liverpool drawing a fucking game and suddenly the league and the world is over. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? One draw and this is how different feeling is. It's just, I mean, it's mad, isn't it? But yeah.
Bit of positive news. Calvin Ramsey is getting closer.
Oh,
according
shut
to the
up.
Daily Record.
Shut That's not positive news. Shut up. Calvin fucking Ramsey. Jesus Christ. Calvin. Yeah, I'd rather you told me Calvin Harris would sign for Liverpool so we'd have some good tunes at half time or something. Seriously, like. Oh, fuck me.
4 million, though. 4 million.
Calvin Ramsey.
Scottish
Move on,
player of the
Paddy.
year. Come on.
Move on, Paddy.
Fair play, Chris.
If we did sell Salah, who would we sign?
Anthony from Ajax.
He'll end up at United.
Yeah.
I think it would be someone we wouldn't expect. It usually is. I don't know whether we'd actually sign in that position or whether we'd sign in another position.
Because we haven't even contemplated this as a fan base, really. Like, I think we're all in this delusional world of, okay, it's dragging on,
Mbappe,
but it will be resolved.
Shut up. Fucking Mbappe. There's more chance of fucking them signing me.
Well, we'll see how you get on in Selhurst Park and then we'll talk.
Yeah, heart failure probably. That's how we get on in Selhurst Park.
I don't know of a signing.
Chris, you need to do internet, brother. Fuck me, you need to know internet.
Mate,
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying
2
so
pixels.
Honestly, this university Wi-Fi, man. I can't wait to move out of this place.
Just get a hotspot or something. Pay for a little booster. Jeez. I keep looking at your blank 2-pixel face. Like, it's not helping my depression.
At least it makes me.
God, you must be in
it makes me
Forest
slightly better
of
looking.
Dean.
It's
You
in
must be in the
Cardiff,
Forest
mate.
of Dean with that connection.
To be fair, terrible connection there, but no.
So,
Let me Guardiola's comment.
Fuck Guardiola. Let me broaden this conversation a little bit.
I would.
Do we need a different number 9? As in a different type of number 9? Like, was the situation against the low block again enough to make us think that if Marigi's moving on, the idea of bringing in a big, tall, strong, forward-thinking player could be an option? Or would we see maybe a Jared Bowen or Rafinha, somebody again, Doku, insert name here? Do you think I've had a feeling that I think Klopp might want to revert a bit to the days where he had a Lewandowski or where he had a forward, a hold-up play. I wonder because he likes to tweak every season a little bit, and I'm just wondering.
I think you need I'd love a big number 9 like that, but I think they also need to be good technically. Like people say Darwin Núñez. I'd love Núñez for the crack. I think he's a great finisher, but he's Jota-esque in terms of he's a poor ball retainer, he's a poor passer, in respect to what Liverpool need from a number 9. I'd love a number 9 that is also good technically, which is kind of hard to get. Maybe we hijack Haaland, I don't know. But I'd love the option. Because that other night, yesterday against Spurs, I was crying for Origi to come on. We could have done with a big target man like that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to change it up a little bit and have that option.
Chris?
Avoid
Not anymore.
like the plague.
I'm with you.
Doesn't have the work rate that Bowen has. My boy Joe, I'm back on the train now. I had got off it. I'm now back on it.
Good man.
Jack, we need a cover on the right. We need cover on the right hand side. Can also play through the middle and on the left. He's class, mate. He could be world class one day.
So, are we talking potential replacement for Salah option?
Maybe. I can't really think of. I can't really think of many better options, mate. That are in a reasonable price range.
Well, I mean, like we say replacement.
It's broken.
We say replacement for Salah. We haven't had him since AFCON anyway. So fucking anyone's fucking better than, you know what I mean? I don't know. Oh, I'm not attacking, like, I'm just, I am broken. Sorry, let me just stop shit and talking bollocks. Sorry, just.
I'm not as scared about the Haaland thing as some others seem to be.
Oh, absolutely, I am. Yeah,
I'm not.
That makes them better, significantly better.
Last time they had a striker,
makes them better. But I don't know if I don't know. I'm not that overly worried by it. There's
I'm not
still going to
sure.
be a fearsome, fantastic group of players. I mean, again, they can still only put 11 men on the pitch.
It's true. I mean, they'd have to significantly change their system. And I
Switch
think
the
the false
topic. I
nine.
fucking agree.
I
Fuck
think
off the contract. Fucking hell. Just fuck off. I just want to win the league.
I think Man City would have to significantly change their system to fit Haaland in, or will have to. And the false nine really helps them control games. So it is going to see a real change in the way they play. They might be a little bit more open than they are now.
So does Mane sign a new deal? How do we feel about that?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What would be your cap on his wages? What do you think the club would agree to? What's fair?
200.
250 to 3?
250 for me. I think that'd be fair enough. I think Mane recognised that he's probably not got too long left, probably three years max. I think that'd be fair enough.
God, that Pep, do you know what? I'm sorry, but he rattled me with his shit he was saying earlier on.
You are everything
Oh.
that's wrong with football commentary, mate. Everything.
Ignore him.
Everything. You are all rolled into one smug little arsehole. You are everything that's wrong with modern day people. You absolute fucking cabbage. Take your racist accusations and stick them up your hole. Nothing, and I repeat, nothing Paddy, Chris, or anybody on this stream said is anything other than racism. Stop trying to play that card and cancel people. You absolute.
Wait, no,
fucking cunt.
you said anything other than racism there. I think you meant. I know.
Just want to
Okay,
confirm.
Just like to
It's
clarify.
people
he
like
meant
him.
the
It's people like that prick. People like that horrible arsehole that belong in a registry with sex offenders. Because you're out here making accusations trying to end people. Do you know how serious an accusation that is and how seriously I take that accusation towards one of our teammates? You absolute fucking pathetic cunt of a human being. You belong on a register, mate. Those accusations can ruin people's lives. Horrible. And I'm sick. That's the modern day attempt at bringing people down. It's cheap, it's unfounded, and it's pathetic. And I'm sorry, but I'm sticking up for my boys, and that's awful, mate. You deserve. I wish I could come around physically and slap you around the face. That's how angry I am at that comment. Accusing a man of racism just because he said someone's not playing well. Did he insult his religion? Did he insult his nationality? Did he insult how he looks? No, Samuel, he didn't. You pathetic fucking excuse of a human being. Sorry, lads. I'm sick of it. It's the go-to for somebody with no fucking argument to try and take somebody else down by playing the racism card. And I'm sick to death of seeing it. Every week we get this labeled at us. All because we dare to say someone's not playing a game of football well. And you think, you entitled little prick sitting at home, that you can throw around racism accusations against people because what? You think it's a laugh? You think it's fair? Go fuck yourself, Samuel.
Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. No. I mean, like it's not. It's obviously not true. It's not. It's just sad that people say that.
Honestly,
shit,
I wish I could slap these people around the face. Honestly, I do, because it's up there with accusing somebody of fucking making a sleazy sexual advance towards somebody, or it's unfounded stuff that we have to defend and prove isn't true. And they can just go off about their life, and we're left with these accusations thrown against us. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And that's what social media companies need to work on, by the way. Because the internet is full of people like that dickhead that think that they have no repercussions to what they say, and they can accuse people of whatever they want without any foundation of truth. And I swear to God, it does my head in.
And that is exactly what's right about the world. People think my opinions are terrible. People think Paddy's opinions are terrible. But you can just have a laugh. You don't have to throw things like that about. It's mad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's been winding me up for a long time. That has those accusations around it, and you know what? It's people like you, Samuel, that make that accusation, that undermine the genuine racism, the genuine Islamophobia, and the genuine stuff that we all want to work to rid the world of. It's people like you with those lazy accusations because you can't put forward a debate that make this a problem, mate. So hang your head, because you're not doing people who are being racially abused any good whatsoever with that type of carry on.
Anyway.
Well, that's thank you, Samuel, for bringing us right up to the hour mark. Right, about you. But
Honestly, I feel bad, lads, because all that, like, I've seen that'll be on Twitter. Stuff like that'll be on Twitter. Oh, that Paddy lad, he's a racist fuck, or that Chris lad, he's a racist fuck. Where's the context and the proof? Oh, I was told it by somebody, but that goes along and along and along, and
yeah,
it's pathetic. And until social media companies start removing these type of clowns, what's the next stop? You know. So, all right, Chris, you're a kiddie fiddler. Chris is a kiddie fiddler.
Well,
I was told by somebody. It's a fact. Do you know what I mean? That's basically what he's at. His sole aim is to ruin something.
I thought you were about to say things that aren't true. Sorry.
I'm sorry. It does my head in, and I hate it. I hate it because I've been accused of some stuff as well without any proof, and it's soul destroying. So look, we'll leave that there. Anyway, I'm off to my KKK rally. Don't know about you, lad. Got to get the outfit ready to go. Samuel, I'll see you there, mate. Yeah, we'll see you there. We'll march together, brother. We'll fight that good fight, you absolute fucking prick. I'm so angry. I'm so angry.
Well, that escalated quickly.
That's wound me up more than anyone telling me to kill myself or calling me a fat prick or anything. It honestly is disgusting. Right, love you all dearly.
I cannot believe that quote has just come out of your fucking mouth.
I'm off to me KKK rally.
Yeah, that's
my humor.
That's an odd.
Surely people understand it's my humor.
Stream now as well, which is great.
Yeah.
Enjoy, mate.
I don't know where I am right now.
Games.
I just want to punch something. That's kind of where I feel. Look, love you all. We will chat to you tomorrow. Myself, Paddy, and Chris will be back 8:45. I'll be live with a Spurs preview, not a Spurs preview, a Villa preview tomorrow 5:45. I'll talk to you soon. Lots of love. Samuel, go fuck yourself.